Hello and welcome to All About That Neuron and Action Potentials. My name is Royce and I am in Bio 168. Let's get this started. So, first of all, we have this beautiful little neuron here. I know, drawn so amazing. So right here, we have the cellular body. Then here, we have the little nuclei. And then we have these little bodies here, the neci bodies. That's like all the mitochondria and the ribosomes and the rough endoplasmic reticulum working together. Next here we have this little axon hillock, which we'll talk about its importance in a little bit. Here going down we have our full axon, and down here we have the little terminals. So information is sensed by these little dendrites up through here from the nervous system, and it shoots all the way down this axon to the terminals where we have the ending where the stimulus is acted upon. So, moving over, steps within an action potential. First, before we can talk about what happens during an action potential, we need to talk about what's going on before. So right now in this little cell membrane, once my screen focuses, we have more sodium outside of the cell and more potassium inside of the cell. So right now everything is balanced, and this is what we call a polarized state. So the cell is polarized. That neuron is polarized. So first we get a stimulus that activates the neuron. So these little dendrites down here sense something from the central nervous system and it shoots. Then the threshold potential. Once that threshold potential is met at the axon hillock right here. So once they get enough of that stimulus here, that threshold is what allows that axon to go ahead and start firing, and it starts here. Then, next, after that, the sodium channels start to open right here at the axon hillock, and the sodium starts rushing into the cell. And this sodium rushing into the cell is the actual action potential. Now, this is an all or nothing thing, which means that either it'll happen and all of the sodium will rush in, or nothing will happen, depending on the threshold potential. At this point, the neuron starts to become depolarized, which means it's very high in a positive charge. Then, once those voltage gauge channels sense that there's all this sodium in there, it tries to balance it out by sending all the potassium outside of the cell. So, open and allows it to rush out. At this point, the cell is still depolarized. Next, both channels close, and the sodium and potassium repeat all the way down the axon hillock and all the way down the axon to the axon terminals, stimulating that muscle contraction. But that's not all. Once we get there, the neuron must become repolarized. That means it requires active transport because it's going against the concentration gradient, and the sodium and potassium pumps need to open back up. And 3 sodium are moved out and 2 potassium are moved out until the membrane becomes repolarized. These are the steps within an action potential. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.